Hey guys, it's Jalen. Welcome back. I'm here today to share with you my update for the Project Yarnathon. This is a project that was created by Andrea over at Pretty as a Peacock, and it's all about working through our yarn stash, whether that be knitting, crocheting, looming, using a loom, weaving. That's the word I'm looking for, weaving. And the goal is to use up a marathon's worth of yarn. And a marathon is 46,145 yards. It's a lot of yards. I have pretty decent update this month. I was able to finish 3 items. Before I go into what I finished, I did want to share kind of where I left things off last month. So at the end of March, I had 36,564 yards left to knit up. I had knit up a total of 10,679 yards. I think I've knit everything. Well, no, I'm sorry. I had a crocheted blanket, which was pretty big, but everything else I believe was knit. So I do have 3 finished objects or FOs this month, which is very exciting. The biggest thing I finished is the dotted rays shawl. Now this is a Stephen West pattern, and here it is. It's kind of hard to get all in frame. It's huge. It's huge. Anyway, this is the first Stephen West pattern that I have knit. I am not really the biggest fan of shawls, but I thought this was a kind of a good like scarf looking shawl, which is why I decided to knit it. I think it's really pretty. It's squishy. I used yarn by the brand Sanguine Griffin, which they no longer dye, but the shade of this was Cleo. I had 2 skeins. I ended up using I actually have them. This is what I had left of the second ball, and so you can see how much is left there. This used up a total of 683 yards, which is great. Now the funny thing is, I think I was working on the last 2 wedges. A wedge is like from each eyelet here. You can see that it's kind of hard to tell because this is dark yarn, but from here to here is considered a wedge. And the way this is constructed is you start here and you just work your wedges out from there. So the interesting thing about this shawl is that the last 2 wedges, which is pretty much knit on the bottom edge of the shawl all the way across, used up the majority of the second ball of yarn. So it was exponential in terms of how much yarn you used per wedge. But anyway, I'm so happy this is done. As I mentioned, I'm not really a shawl knitter, but I will say that I think probably a third of the way through, I was like, okay, I got this. Like, it wasn't a difficult pattern to knit, and I would recommend it. I really do love the shawl. In fact, I'm going to wear it. Why not? The rest of the video. Okay, let's see if it stays on. Okay, so that's the first project I finished. The next pattern I finished is a pair of socks. These are just a simple vanilla stripy, like simple vanilla pair of socks and some self-striping yarn. So there are my 2 socks. This is yarn is by the brand Snitches, who I don't believe is still around. And the colorway is called Planetary. I love these. They're super cute. And I ended up using not as much as I normally do, but there's the ball of yarn of what's left. For these, I used a total of 295 yards to right around 300. I think I normally use around 330 yards, but yeah, this one did not use up as much yarn. So those are a finished pair of socks. The next item I finished is a pair of mitts. These are the Cloudburst mitts by Adrian Gray. So here are the mitts. I'll go ahead and put these on so you can see what these look like. These knit up so fast, and I really enjoyed the pattern. I did screw up on one of these, and I'm pretty sure it is this one. So you can see how it doesn't look completely centered on my hand. And that's because I started the increase for the thumb hole too close to the pattern, but I was not going to rip out an entire mitt in order to fix that. Nobody else is going to notice but me. So anyway, here are the finished mitts. And I love them. I love the length on my hand. They're super cozy. I love the color. Yes, they are fabulous. So I did not use that much of this yarn. This is how much is left. So the yarn that I used is by the brand Plucky Knitter. This is her bellow fingering, which is 55% merino, 45% cashmere goat. It had a total of 380 yards in a ball. And I ended up using, how much did I use? A total of 120 yards from the ball. So I still have quite a bit of yarn left in here. And so this will be saved for another project where I may need a contrasting color. I thoroughly enjoyed knitting with this yarn. It was lovely. And like I said, I freaking love these mitts. So all three of those projects together totaled 1,098 yards, which means I have 35,466 yards remaining. So still quite a ways to go. But I am excited because I'm at 23% of the marathon. So I've used up 23% of that 46,145 yards. Last month I was at 20.7. So I increased by 3% in a month. Anyway, I'm happy to have 3 FOs. This is amazing. Where did Ziggy go? So I wanted to share with you guys my update for Get Your Craft On. This is a project that I created. Well, I created the idea for doing it. The original inspiration for this project was from a Ravelry group on, well, Ravelry. And I will link that particular group down below. But the idea was to cast on one project every day in the month of January. I'm going to link my project introduction up in the cards. There were several ladies that were collaborating with me on this. Kim from Teacher Loves Beauty, Andrea from Pretty as a Peacock, and Danny from Danny's Makeup. Shelly from Unapologetically Shelly also joined in. So what I'm going to do is share with you how things are going with the project. I did end up casting on 31 items in the month of January. I have finished 7 items that I originally cast on. So this shawl here, the mitts that I showed you, as well as these socks here. I also had 2 dishcloths that I finished, as well as a pair of fire pit mitts. I've shared those with you guys on previous videos of this Project Yarnathon. And then I also finished the quilted lattice cowl. So I think that totals 7 items. I don't know what... He probably wants me to get up and do something, but I'm in the middle of filming, so it's not going to happen. Hi. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm busy. You can see that? Mr. Permeister. I have, I think, one in particular that I have actually had some pretty decent progress on in the last month. That is a pair of yoga socks. So the pattern is Rolling Brook Yoga Socks. And the pattern designer is Anne Mancine. I am knitting this pattern with this self-strapping yarn by Mustache. This is the colorway Be Mine. And I bought this at the DFW Fiber Fest years ago. It was actually a short skein. Yeah, short skein. This had 73.5 grams. So anyway, here is what the first one looks like. So this is the leg. This is where your heel would go. It's a bare heel. And then where the toe would be. I'll actually put this on a sock blocker so you can see. There we go. I think that's so cute. I love this stripy pattern. So I originally cast on, I think, 56 stitches. That was nowhere near enough. So I ripped back to basically the cast on, and I cast on 64 stitches. So this is fingering weight yarn. The pattern originally calls for, I think, DK weight yarn. So I had already gone up from what the pattern said to do, but I ended up having to go to 64. I usually do 60 stitches for a plain vanilla sock, but this one needed 64. Anyway, so I finished one and I cast on the second, but have not gotten very far into the second one. So you can see there's what I have so far on the second one, but this one does not. It doesn't take very long to knit up. It knits pretty quickly is what I want to say. So anyway, this is how much is left from the first ball, So quite a decent amount left. Anyway, I think that's the one I'm going to finish probably the soonest. So I don't really have any progress on it. Well, no, I take that back. I do have progress on another project. So this was actually not part of my Get Your Craft On project. This was cast on prior to that. It was cast on years ago, but I did make a ton of progress on it. So let me grab my pattern notes on this. So this pattern is the Comfort Fade Cardigan by Andrea Mowry, but I am not doing a fade. I'm just using solid, like a semi-solid yarn. So here is this sweater. Let me see if I can get it to look decent. That's what I have so far. It's kind of hard to see because it's dark. But whenever I originally, the last time I had touched this, I was about maybe this far into the increases on the yoke. So I have finished the yoke and the armhole increases. And then I have also knit quite a bit on the body. So here is where so this is where the increases where I joined for the body, and then here is where I am now. So I've knit quite a bit on this. I kind of put it off to the side to finish some of these other projects that I was working on, like work on these, work on the socks, and finish this. I was kind of thinking, okay, I'll have a more challenging project, which was this because I had to pay attention a little more, versus something where I'm just knitting back and forth. This is definitely the next sweater I want to finish. So making progress on that. I still have like 10 inches to go on the body, so a ways to go. That's, I think, the only other project that I actually have some decent progress on. I don't remember how far I was on these. Maybe I'll throw a picture up here, but this is where I am on this one. I think I've traveled since the last update, so there would have been some progress, I think, on this, maybe. I may have been working on the Cloudburst mitts at the time. So anyway, those are the projects that I've actually got some use on. I do want to share one other thing, because I think I had mentioned this granny stripe blanket that I'm working on. The pattern is a Pearl Soho pattern. It's called the Granny Stripe Blanket. And this is the first color of the blanket. So I finished the first color, and then I measured how wide this was and realized that I was going to need more yarn. And I do want to share with you the color story that I ended up going with. I think I ended up having to pick up 2 or 3 more skeins of yarn. Okay, there's all the yarn. There we go. I can try to get it all in one picture. So you can see all the colors that are going to go into this blanket. So I do need to wind the next color up, which is going to be this one here, and then start crocheting. But yeah, well, no, wait, I'm sorry. I think it's going to be this one. Yeah, so I just need to wind up the skein and then start working on the next color. Don't know when that's going to happen, but I did want to show you guys that I did pick all of my colors for it. I'm super excited. But anyway, I think that is my update for today. Now I'm going to insert a quick picture over here of Ziggy. I'm going to take a quick picture so that you guys can see. He just made himself comfortable in my basket. All right, so I am very excited with how things are going with my Project Yarnathon. It's slow, but at least I'm finishing things. I don't know if you guys remember, if you've watched this series from the beginning, I really wasn't knitting very much prior to this starting last year. And so I'm super excited that Andrea started this project and that I now have like a group of ladies who knit with me and we talk about projects and we're a little obsessed. I've also got my local knitting friends who are amazing and I love knitting with them as well. We haven't met up in a while, but it's time. Anyway, that is going to be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you are doing well and staying safe. Please hit that subscribe button and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hi. What are you doing? Hi. You never come on camera. Hey, buddy. Hey. What are you doing? Bye. Hi. Looks like someone gave you a kiss, huh? Hey. Can you see his kiss mark on his forehead? Hi. Well, hi. What are you doing? Thank you. There are several ladies who are collaborating unapologetically. Shelly from unapologetically. So what I'm going to do is oh my God. Oh my gosh. This is a hot mess express video. I feel like I am all over the place. I am so sorry. Anyway, that is going to be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you are doing well. That's rude. Please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that subscribe button. Please. Please do it. What? Wow. What a mess. Hot mess. Okay, bye.